Hey there, I am Justus Aguila, and welcome to Life and IT Project Management YouTube channel, where we explore how bold ideas are brought to life through effective project leadership. Now, when you hear the term wartime project, what comes to mind? What truly defines success in a wartime project? Is it simply staying on budget and schedule, or figuring a way to deliver enduring value through the chaos? In today's world, which is laced with so much uncertainty, you have the trade wars reshaping markets. You have the Iran-Israel conflict impacting oil supplies globally. Those rattle investor confidence, right? The ripple effect, you have slower economies, you have cautious hiring and firing, you have frozen innovation, and you have delayed transformation programs. So today, we will unpack why wartime projects fail, how global crises multiply those risks, and what great project leaders and enterprises must do differentially to succeed in a world that's on fire. So first of all, what's a wartime project? In project management parlance, and it could mean something else somewhere, but war isn't just combat. It's a metaphor, and in many cases, an acronym. In this case, it's an acronym for wide scale, ambitious, and risky. So such projects will typically have a high degree of urgency to them. They will have massive scale. They will cause cross-functional pressure, and they will typically have high visibility at executive, national, and global levels. So think pandemic vaccine rollouts, think military tech upgrades, think digital overhauls of entire governments, right? So these are not typically side gigs. They are all hands on deck type of projects. And when they fail, the consequences ripple across entire economies, right? So why do such wartime projects fail? 99% of the time. An economist, Brent Fleibjerg, conducted a research on 16,000 mega projects and found out that mega projects fail most of the time, with only 0.5% meeting their goals. And that's not just bad odds. 0.5% of 16,000. That's near extinction for the enterprise or global entity, right? Or national entity. So let's take one of the big examples. If you've heard of California high-speed rail project, it was supposed to deliver trains that move at 186 miles per hour, taking passengers from Las Vegas to all the way to Southern California in 2 hours. Now, that project was approved in 2008 and was supposed to cost $33 billion. The targeted completion was 2020. As we speak, two things have happened. One, it is now projected to cost $128 billion, and no full route has been delivered. So the outside inward view into what has gone wrong with the California high-speed rail project include the following. And this is caveat here. This is the outside inward view. Anyone directly involved might have a different view, but this is the outside inward view. Number one, shifting political winds have blown the rails off the track because each new administration has come with new goals: speed it up, slow it down, reroute it. So the result here is you have scope creep, you have team confusion, you have leadership instability, right? So that's the first outside inward view as to why it is going wrong. The second reason, land acquisition challenges. So land acquisition has been a legal tug of war. Why? Because of course you need the land to lay the tracks, but the landowners are not selling. So lawsuits are flying left, right, center. Construction is stalling, costs are increasing, time is getting wasted. The third reason, you have the engineers and architects who presented plans initially, conceptually, and those plans don't match what's going on in the real world terrain. So the result is redesigns, budget blowouts, complexity overload, right? So the fourth reason is basically you have no primary owner in charge of the entire project. So you have no primary business sponsor who can stand firm with their requirement to guide the direction, because too many agencies are involved without adequate authority. So you have siloed teams, you have no central leadership. And that's an issue. So that's why you have confused execution there. The last reason why outside inward view as to why the project is failing is because the communities are saying, nope, not in my backyard. And those are the locals who are supposed to support the project. And the end users, the initial end users and customers, they are opposed to the disruption, right? Because no one engaged them early. So the result you have delays, you have resistance, you have legal chaos. So now imagine running a project like that. Underwater volatility, tariff disruptions, and so many geopolitical issues, right? It becomes clear how trade wars and global conflict magnify failure. Current trade tensions, of course, the US triggered trade tensions. Those are freezing cross-border investments, right? The Iran-Israel war is spiking oil prices and closing vital arteries like the Strait of Hormuz. You can research about that. That basically is supposed to deliver 25% of oil supplies, right? So imagine that being blocked. Across board, project funding is drying up. Supply chains are being impacted. Enterprises are hitting a pause on bold bets. So the shiny 2025-2026 roadmap many enterprises have had previously, those are now just being held together by hope and duct tape. So even projects that fail in peacetime, like the California speed rail, right, would completely unravel under today's pressure. And yet we must still build. As leaders, we must still deliver. As leaders, we must still lead. So what do leaders and enterprises do differently that will help them succeed in these times? First of all, not all wartime projects fail. For sure, investments must still occur. The Hoover Dam finished 2 years early. The Empire State Building, that got completed in 13 months during a depression, right? So what separates the few mega projects that succeed? On aligned scope and smart simplicity. So the more concise and simple the scope is, the faster it can get executed and you're done with that. So plans get rooted in reality and not fantasy, right? That's one. This is not a time for fantasies. Secondly, when you have unified leadership and clear sponsorship, you have a clear vision, you have one driver, you will not have ambiguity, right? So that will help with things progressing. That will help with decisions on what is priority and what is not priority, at least to get through the most valuable items, right? That is that. Then three, transparent governance and risk visibility. So how you manage your risks have to be identified from the onset, and they will still get identified as you execute, but they should not be buried. You should have your risk mitigation, your risk avoidance, and your risk resolution path, right? So you will have risk that you will accept evidentially, right? So, but those have to be transparent, not just hidden in someone's Excel sheet somewhere. So that's that. Then 4, inclusive stakeholder engagement. Voices heard early and often will prevent things being derailed. So for example, not engaging the community was a problem early on. Not engaging the landowners is also a problem. Those things impact the success of such mega projects. The last and the most important one, in my own view, is the agile execution of plans and resource contingencies. And why would I say agile execution? I'm not using agile because it's a buzzword today. No, change in itself is constant, right? So especially for multi-year projects falling within different governments, change-ready teams will succeed. So change-ready teams will definitely succeed. So teams that can adapt, sponsor that can adapt, will help the team succeed. So if we want mega projects to succeed in a wartime like this, the mindset is very, very important. It's a non-negotiable, right? So the world is in flux. You have trade wars, you have real wars, you have digital disruptions, you have AI reshaping how we work, how we build, how we lead. And if you're leading a critical initiative right now, you're not just managing schedules, you're navigating complexity, you're navigating emotions, and you're navigating political risks, right? Internally and externally for that matter. So that's not just project management, that's leadership. That is leadership. So staying sharp, staying clear while you focus on what is most important, delivering value, especially when the world is on fire, right? Will keep you on course and will help you be valued on the long haul. If this episode hit home in any way, if everything that has been said makes sense to you, if you want to learn more, please like, subscribe this specific episode and tell me in the comments what stands out to you. Most importantly, for those on initiatives right now, I want to hear what bold projects you are leading or you're a part of right now. You don't need to mention the names, but a general idea will help, so that as you lead through the chaos, as you drive the initiative through the chaos, others can also get to learn. So let's learn from each other. Let's lead through the fire So, but if you're stepping into IT project leadership for the first time, you're transitioning from one profession into IT project leadership, we have built the support you need. We can provide on-the-job consulting. We can provide personalized career roadmaps. We can engage you with experts in a live Q&A session so that you get to learn from them directly. And we can have you access exclusive events and meetups. So please reach out to us so that you can access those opportunities. I remain Justice Ayila, and see you on the next episode. Thank you.